This is $1,000 and I'm going to spend all of it on Instagram ads to answer one simple question. Do Instagram ads really work as a promotion tool in 2023? Let's find out. I really wanted to take this serious, so I started by researching to understand really the basics of Instagram ads. And I figured out you have to not suck about these 3 things if you really want to succeed with Instagram ads. The first thing that you shouldn't suck is creating a good content. The content is not like an ad, so that people just won't skip the ad before they even watch it. Being a YouTuber, I think I got that part. Once they grab the attention of the listeners, apparently another thing that you shouldn't really suck is your music. I think I got that one covered as well because I had a collab track with Faden. If you haven't seen that one, I will put a link here. You can watch whole story of that one. We got all the positive commands of the track, so that was a perfect track to use in this experiment. And the final piece that you shouldn't suck was understanding how Instagram ads work. But for that part, I definitely suck. I couldn't really get anywhere because it got quite confusing and I haven't used this before. I was feeling really lost until I get this message from another YouTuber friend. Hi Jacob. Once I got the email address of Jacob, I reached to him and we quickly scheduled a meeting to go through all the things that we can do.
Better, just there we go. So I started out in music as an artist, as a songwriter, producer, artist, putting my music out there. That's what led me into marketing, honestly, was figuring it out for myself. So have you done other promotion in the past?
I've never done
imagine?
Music or the song promotion before. That's why I wanted to have your help with me so that I can at least outsource that part of the job to you.
It's good that you're willing to work on that front. And what I will say that I've noticed across the last 2 years is it started out first with very professionally shot footage, and now it's transitioned into more TikTok style videos. It's actually, in my opinion, I think a pro for most artists out there because not everybody has access to make a professionally shot footage like it used to be reserved for ads. Now it's more authentic. It's just about putting content that people would want to see in front of them and then hoping that it turns into a lifelong relationship. Just think about yourself. It's what if somebody came up to you in the middle of the street and was like, hey, go do this for me. And it's like, I don't know who you are. I'm probably not going to do that. But as opposed to the experience of somebody is playing on the side of the street and you love the music, you will go after them, buy the music potentially. And that's the experience that you want to capture for people online.
Daniel, hello.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
What we were discussing now is creating this short content that should be used for the ads. It's actually working better with the type of ads that looks and sounds like TikTok video, like with the handheld camera.
It doesn't look like something that they will automatically dismiss. Is that like the strategy?
That's fantastic. That's exactly what it is. Disguising it as content in that way, or organic content, is definitely the best way to kind of just hook people in.
Once we know what we have to do, we just went back and started recording the ads. Idea was super simple. Keep them short, around 15 seconds. Keep them authentic so that they don't sound too much like an ad. Create some type of curiosity with the people and use the best part of the track so that they wonder how the rest of the track is sounding. So these are what we came up with.
Yo, check out this new artwork that this AI engine just made for our new song. It's crazy.
Here comes the tide.
This must be one of the biggest drops of 2022.
Final song to listen to before leaving the earth.
I have challenged my subscribers to sing over my track, and this is the best one.
Trying my new track first time in a legendary club. And this is the reaction. This is the best part about being a DJ.
If you're enjoying the video up to now, please consider subscribing. It really helps a ton to create videos like this. Let me quickly explain how the Instagram ads work. All of those ones are different ads. Then it comes to targeting and you start by demographics. For example, let's say age between 25 to 35, males, they live in New York, and then you look at their interests, techno, and then define your behaviors. Let's say people who buys tracks on Beatport, and then you can define custom audience like people who have seen my Instagram. And the main idea is creating these different type of audiences because you don't know which one of these will really enjoy your ad. And once you have done that, you cross-match all those different ads. The main target over here is finding the perfect matches, least cost to create a fan after taking a look at your ads. So once we released the ads, we were 100% sure that they will do really good because we had a really good track with a really good ad manager and we expected everything to go perfect. Until we saw this number. You should understand what a click means for us. I think it's best Jacob explains this part.
So that's when a user sees the ad. So they've already clicked on it and they see now you could stream on Spotify, you could stream on Apple, stream on YouTube. So when they click on one of those, that counts as a conversion to that platform. So it takes them now out of Instagram into their preferred streaming platform, and that's where they can listen.
And as you can see, we have spent around $200 after 4th day. So we are spending around $50 each day. And the cost per listen was around $50, which was way too much. But more importantly, the cost was not decreasing but increasing back again. And we tried to understand what was happening, and it was due to the one single ad, this one. So the ad was getting a lot of views, but for the wrong reason. So a lot of people were watching it, clicking it, but not following through to the Spotify, leading to really high cost. So at this point, we just decided to take this ad off completely and see what happens afterwards. And the moment we took that ad off, the costs were decreasing significantly. And the very next day, it decreased more than 50%. We were around 25 cents per listen, and then it kind of get a bit lower, and then going up and down until the 19th of December. And the 21st of December, it was even more than what we had before. So we want to know what just happened, and we had another meeting with Jacob. And the main issue again was we had another meme type of video, this one, and it was getting again a lot of views. But those views were not converting to the Spotify listens and increasing the cost again. Our initial decision was just taking off this ad. So what we have realized that the best performing ads were the ads that were actually kind of leading people to listen to the track. For example, this one was doing quite good because it kind of built expectations, so people were sticking to the listen to the track. And if they like it, they were going further, and if they don't like the track, they were just swiping forward. So our idea was creating 5 more ads and focusing on this type of content. I asked 100,000 people to create vocal to my song. You decide if they delivered.
We went from making trance to melodic techno, and this is our first stop. What do you think about it?
I have worked for weeks to create this sound. You decide if it sounds good.
You know, people had always warned me that if I switched from trance to melodic techno, that my fashion might change. Honestly, I don't even know what they're talking about.
I teamed up with a Grammy-nominated duo to create this technotrope. You decide if it sounds good. And then we focused on optimizing the ads and the targeting until we spent all the $1,000 that we had.
It would be great to kind of just hear your thoughts on what you've experienced on your end, and just curious to kind of hear how it went.
I think the biggest difference was mostly the how many people actually saved the track. This number definitely said this 3,000 to 4,000 more than what I would see for sure.
Okay.
I even get increased Instagram followers. It's not like huge increase, but it's obviously an increase. That big thing is when we started the ads. I gained 300 more followers than I should have gained. This is the release time. From the stream perspective, the streams were more or less dominated by the playlist that we had. So it was really hard for me to determine.
Release radar does, especially for anything under sub 100,000 plays, you can definitely see that. And then yeah, there's 1,400 playlists for the song. For us to get 1,400 in a month is pretty awesome, you know. And I think that that's attributed to a lot of the saves and stuff like that.
This is released like 3 months before the release that we have, and I think this is the double amount of streams. And released 3 months ago, and it only has 1.2.
A lot of people really hope for editorial playlists with large followings. The reality is with ad campaigns is that it's all just single person playlist. And to me, that's more of a longevity, lifetime fan. So the real goal is you get to a tipping point in the future where you don't need to run an ad campaign anymore. Now you've compounded so many fans with your ad spend that when you do release, like you've seen in the past with Release Radar, all that happens organically. Your experiencing falls very much in line, I would say, with the other ad campaigns. It's good to hear that you did see a noticeable increase on there. While we're on this, just to kind of show you, what was spent is obviously up here. The average cost per conversion, so 28 cents for every dollar you're spending, you get around 3.5 new people. You asked what this CTR was. So in general, you want to keep that to around 1%. So that means that what percent of these people are actually clicking through, and best performing demographic, male 25 to 34. So of the 5,700 people that made it to the landing page, 4,000 200 of them click through. And then of the actual distribution to the platforms, Spotify is always taking the lead, and then Spotify followers up 200. Very noticeable rate of growth. This was the top performer of the Instagram retargeting ad sets. The top 3 here, if we exclude this one, because this one was removed later on, were all based around the live performance aspect of it, which is helpful to know. So this was actually the worst performing creative, which I was personally surprised at, because usually when you have a face in there and you have performance, those tend to grab people's attention pretty quickly, but this was actually the worst performer. And it sounds like for EDM or for house music or for more instrumental, focusing on the production aspect.
Like, yeah.
Exactly, as opposed to the live aspect. So here is what you were mentioning, Alice, the graph over time.
I think this is the
how
third
lines
day
up.
we flip up the bikini girl one.
That was like a 50% increase in conversions and drop in conversion costs, which was perfect. Because what was happening is you were getting a cheap cost per click, but a really expensive cost per conversion. So then it continued to drop, and then it started to raise again when what was optimizing towards the best performer was the other meme. And once we removed that one, took away all of the meme posts, anything that wasn't directly related to the song, what we saw was some really, really, really great traction. This was going in an incredible direction. Now, not that you have to keep this going, but if you did, I'm pretty confident this would continue to, at the very least, get better. That's when the compounding effects would sort of, I think, kick in even more so than this first month, which was mostly spent testing. And I think that right there is sort of the pros and cons when it comes to ad campaigns. You can't really say, I'm going to spend $1,000 and know exactly what I'm going to get out of it, because the reality is you have to test a lot. You have to see what works, what doesn't work. You have to make adjustments and figure things out along the way. Once you find something that works and you get it down to, let's say, 15 cents per conversion or 10 cents per conversion, if you can, that's when you see some really, really incredible effects. And you see a really noticeable increase in the thousands, instead of just the hundreds.
I think the most valuable thing is like we found out what creative was working the best. With us knowing what worked right here, I bet us having a baseline to start here, I bet you we can even get it even lower and get even more conversions. Like,
I think so as well.
creative.
Focus on something that people would like to see,
Yeah.
but at the same time, people would also like to click.
Yeah, I mean, I will say something that's important, I think, for me to convey in this is definitely the mindset. It's easy to think, I just want streams. The reality is everything is connected, and it all comes down to where your goal is. For us, it was, let's get fans, let's get real people who care. And then the question is, how do you do that? All that, to me, I think, is the most important message to convey. It's really be intentional, understand what it is you want out of this and understand how you would want to get that.
I think overall, this is a phenomenal learning experience.
Yes, I had a great time.
Okay.
Likewise, I
We'll
had
talk
great
soon.
time.
Likewise,
Jacob,
man.
really
We
thank
loved
you.
it. We loved working with you.
If you want to learn more about this track and the story of it, we have another video here. Take a look.